Ah, damn it. It's a Street Smart one. Your countdown to... Here we go.
Welcome to Aluminum Spork, where mysteries come.
I know that was a fork.
Talk. From ancient cities underground to UFOs that float around. Giants of the past, prophetic signs that last, archaeological
Let's
fights.
just forget about that. And there's the sport. AI does not like sports.
Aluminum Spork, where truth
Totally a sport, everyone.
intertwined. From pyramids to guidestone
Boom.
known, to secrets carved in ancient stone. We're diving deep into the unknown.
I don't know.
Hancock's theories we explore, while Congress opens UFO doors. From Göbekli
Yes.
Tepe's rise to jellyfish in darkened skies, mound builders of old, stories left untold, hidden history's core. We're questioning it all. Aluminum Sport, your weekly dose of mystery. From ancient text to modern day, we'll light up truth's hidden way. Join us as we investigate, where conspiracy meets reality, and history holds its secrets tight. On Aluminum Sport tonight.
Oh, yes. New opening, everybody. And I boomer it. I have to boomer it. You know, that's the only way I know how. New opening, everybody. Yeah, we are getting hits. So every time we played the old opening, which I loved that song, it was very cool. But we got copyright claimed every time. So Grant took it upon himself and created that fork that identifies as a spork because AI doesn't know what a spork is, which is terrifying. If you really think about it, that's terrifying. Like, what else does AI not get? You know, if you can't understand what a spork is, what about nuclear codes or humanity in general? Being able to live free and not caged in your I can't think of what I was going to say.
Once they figure out sporks, we're all done. That's the problem.
Or it'll be peace. It'll be peace. Everyone giving you a little, yeah, loving it. It is very cool. I do like it. It's very grand. It gives a little couple minutes for people to jump on and get ready, to watch. We're live right now on the Rumble, the YouTube, and Twitter. So welcome everybody. And Grant, welcome. How are you, my co-host and friend?
Yeah, doing good, buddy. Doing better than the state of California. So
yeah. All right, we're going to play two things. Why don't you get yours loaded up? I'm going to show the one where, there's just some weird... Okay, I am a conspiracy guy. I don't mean that I believe every conspiracy, but I could see why people believe conspiracies. and a lot of the conspiracies in the last 4 years have become true. So, I mean, they're just lately conspiracy is either a term the left uses to try to decredit you and take your credibility away. And the truth is it's a badge of honor the way I look at it, because we're willing to look past what they tell us and do our own research to a certain extent, you know? Um, Sometimes I get sucked into the conspiracy and I go down the rabbit hole. We all do. It's part of it. Um, Sporgan, good to see you, man. I thought my beard was going gray. Yeah, accidental Taurus. Yeah, you like that? It went, dude. If you look at my early videos, it's only a couple years. That's what kids will do to you. I got like almost my
If you look
Santa
at your
Claus.
video at Christmas, there's a difference.
I believe so, man. It's getting gray. My wife's like, "Would you ever do touch up gray?" I was like, "This is kind of dignified. I like it." I don't know. You're not shilling hard enough, Scott. I'll work on it, Parrot Head. I promise. Dang. Yeah, I saw that. My friend Brian, we saw that. We're about to play one right now. So, Butcher, what's up? So let's take a look at the one I have ready. So we're talking tonight is not usually we do Song of Ice and Fire tonight because my channel is schizophrenic like me or ADHD. Kind of jumps around.
Yeah, but you were good people.
Yeah, good people, good people. I love talking certain fantasy series, but I also really this stuff is what I mean, I love talking this stuff, ancient lost civilizations, conspiracies, different timelines, UAPs. But this comes from
Yes, Jane, aliens did start the fire.
They didn't start the fire. Logic Before Authority, giving them a shout out. And they said, listen to them admitting they started the LA fires. Now, I know most people are just going to say, oh, he misspoke, but he said it so smoothly when he said it. So here we go.
My first piece of advice to you is let's take care of our mental and physical health first before we embark upon what is going to be a journey to rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.
Even the subtitles say it, the closed captions.
I find that hilarious one. It's probably just a slip up, but the fact of the matter is that everyone heard that and clapped. Also, the part before that is the more disturbing part. We've got the chance to build this better than we have before, like they wanted to
do. Right, better than before. It kind of goes with what you have coming up next. So I want you to hear that one part again. And the carpet doesn't match. No, this is gray. I haven't found one down there yet. All right.
That's clearly a lie.
Maybe I'm a ball.
When we started this fire.
Like he's so excited. Like, let's build it back.
Rebuild these communities back and rebuild them better than they were when we started this fire.
Okay. So now we had that. Now let's see what you have.
The sign language person did a good enough job, and she actually said we started the fire as well. So she translated it properly.
She did it perfectly. And now let's see I want to say what is it? The tweaking governor of California in this video. Let's take a look at this.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas about some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward.
Sorry, because I talked over it a little bit.
Down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
Okay.
So he's gonna be presenting these findings to pass that they can come in and another entity can come in and just buy up that land.
Now there's
eminent domain he's talking about.
Well, yes, and in a way he could be coming at it from two ways. He could be just tweaking out right now and telling us the truth, or he could try to be saying there's these speculators coming in and we're going to be legally trying to protect people's property. because in Hawaii, they said the same thing. Well, we don't want these speculators to come in. So we're going to find a way that the government can buy this property and protect it for the civilians, which means land grab. Like, no matter which way you say it, either you're going to sell it to the speculators or you're just going to buy it outright and eminent domain it and say, we're just protecting the land. You know, it's you look at the reports from January 1st. A local weatherman said there will be, Santa Ana winds. This is perfect conditions for forest fires. We need to be on it. We need to be watching. The government did nothing. Then on January 2nd, the National Weather Association came out and said the same exact thing. You need to be, you need to put people up in helicopters. You need to have people out there working on the brush, but they did nothing. And then they're out of water. They're fire hydrants that have been stolen all year long. It's like,
No. The city removed them.
yes. Oh, the city removed them.
The
I must have
cities- the
misheard
ci-
that.
No, the city's been removing the fire hydrants
Why?
at
Why?
the behest of the mayor.
I'm just going with what some of these people are saying. But so the mayor, you're saying the mayor told
Yes,
them
the
to
mayor.
remove. Mayor.
Yeah.
Jeez. That is not
Awesome.
not at all. Look,
I'm sure this has nothing to do with the high-speed rail thing that's going to be going all the way through there and somehow go across the ocean to Hawaii.
yeah. I mean, first of all, he said down in Hawaii. Like, dude, down in Hawaii. I mean, it's kind of west of you, bro.
Well,
But
I thought it was
everybody-
also north of them as well.
It's depending on where you are in California. I think like the northern part of California, it's kind of
Yeah, but
close.
like LA.
Yeah, no, LA, I believe it's northwest. Way more west than north, but northwest. Yeah, the chat is just telling it like it is. Like the dude is high AF. We all know what that means. He's got dollar signs in his eyes. That's
Look at how much he's
Lily of
smiling.
yeah, dude. The
He's
smile.
talking about a governor. He said, "I've just been talking to a governor about the government being able to take people's land, and he could
Yeah.
not be happier."
Look at the
this.
devastation behind him, and he's just like this guy
He's
has
dancing.
he can't help himself. That is, who are you, man? Like the evil sometimes just can't be hidden. It really can't. And that goes for any side. I'm not saying just because he's a Democrat. I'm saying these elites, the elites sometimes just can't hide when their plan is finally happening, and I'm not saying he started the fires or told anybody to start the fires, but it happened. Maybe we were a little delinquent on what we were supposed to be doing, like cleaning the brush, keeping the wires away from them. I don't know. Maybe not having hundreds of, maybe tens of thousands of tweakers, meth heads who love to set fires. Meth heads love fires. And there's been a lot of footage of that too. What's this?
This is what he was thinking in his head at the time.
Oh my God, that goes so well. That was awesome. Yeah, and the high speed rail, like it's just happened to perfectly burn that route. Like it's just some of the stuff is nuts. I don't know. Yeah, why is he dancing? I don't know. I don't get it. His shoulders on. Neener, neener, neener. Get your property. It's like one of those things where my
Fox,
shoulders can't tell a
on Fox
lie.
they had a segment and they've said Gavin Newsom debuts the new shoulder shimmy. And he's turning it into a dance.
Oh my God, that's great. So you're saying there's a time lapse that all of the fires were started at the same time. I'm not saying definite because I haven't seen the time lapse, but I have seen footage of homeless starting fires. Like you got like heroin addicts. They just want to like pass out anywhere. But like meth heads tweak, dude. They're up for days. And either they're in like some weird hole, like almost like a K-hole, or they are like wanting to destroy something because they get so violent. I mean, I worked with these people. Like it's disturbing how crazy powerful that it like access is something like they just are overpowered. And they like fires. Fires are fun for them.
Fires burn
Yeah.
things, and when they burn things, it gets rid of it. Gets rid of any evidence.
Yeah. All the evidence. And right, the firemen warned them not to cut their funding, and they cut it. Just like they were warned not to cut police funding. But that we will not forget that there was one political party that demonized the entire police force over some bad actors. Percentage wise, you're always going to get the guys who this is a power trip. But for the majority, it is not. They're trying to make communities better. They're trying to do their 20 years and retire with a pension. They're trying to make their parents proud. Whatever it is, there's just more of them than there is, I want to hurt people. And they demonized all of them, defund the fire department. We don't need them. Send a shaman out there to, don't burn. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was really weird that they left all that, that oil at Diddy's house and it still didn't burn.
Yeah. Yeah. That petroleum jelly can go up, man. Yeah, there's just the mayor. Yeah, right. The mayor cut funding for the fire department. I mean, it was a perfect storm. The mayor, again, also sealing the fire hydrants. Like, and it goes perfectly with the rail. Like, why do you think we don't look into the conspiracy? Like we have to look into the conspiracy. I don't
Well,
know.
if you don't, then it just becomes doctrine.
Right. Someone always has to question. That's what I try to teach
Yes,
my kids.
he is a dick.
He is a dick, dude. Yeah, Butcher, he's a dick. He is a dick. Like just that freaking smile. Oh, what a dick. Yeah, I guess so. You never know. Like, they're not all perfect. But they're blaming Trump for this. They've tried to twist it into
You held no power for the last 4 years. It's clearly your fault.
oh no, but they're taking political swipes at them. Like no, like the other side wouldn't do the same thing if it was him. They've been doing it for 4 years while he's out. Like they're trying to say,
Mrs. Flu.
"Oh, Miss Flu, how are you? Good to see you. Aw, so nice to have you over here."
I mean, remember when there was magazine articles and stories a week after he mentioned about Russian dressing? Well, actually, it wasn't even him. It was the press secretary.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was
right,
their connection
right.
to Russia. Yeah.
Russia. What was the the press secretary, the first one for
Jen Psaki?
Yeah. The first one for Biden, right?
Yeah, the ginger.
Yeah,
The ginger chick. Yeah.
Yeah. She hold on one second. My kid has to say good night. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you can talk for a minute.
Yeah, I can probably do that. Yeah, I don't know what he was going about with Jen Psaki, so we'll just talk to the chat. Let's go. They still have Trump's derangement syndrome. Yeah, well, I mean, you've got to. Here's the thing: if you don't blame it on them, then they don't have to look inwards. That's the biggest thing. Like, if I'm constantly pointing my fingers at someone else, I don't want them to look back at me, and it seems to be doing that all the time. Like the guy wasn't in power. He hasn't even technically been sworn in yet.
Yeah, it's not
I
until
don't see how he
Monday.
has. Yeah.
And this is true. Without fail, it's always the other president's fault. He did it all 4 years about Obama, still talks about Obama. Now he talks more about Biden, but Obama, so yeah, we're on the same page. I'm surprised Obama hasn't gotten blamed yet. True. But yeah, Jen, thank you, Mrs. Flu, Psaki. So Jen, I just said it out loud and I can't even spell it. Yep, there she is. And she Trump, and it was like Musk. She was talking about LA fires. I don't know if we'll I'll find this, but it was interesting, dude, what she had to say. Like, I want to find hers because I guess there's a lot of people who responded to this. Dang. Let's see if this one. Okay, here we go. Okay, I want to make sure you know this is from Mr. Trumptastic Radio with 84 subscribers, 85. But they put this up there, so I'm going to share this. I hope they don't do anything to it. I just want them to play it exactly as it is. We'll see if they do. But this is her report.
Fires still burning, we are facing important questions about how to mitigate and prevent disasters like this in the future. Fact is, leaders will need to confront a very complicated and challenging reality moving forward.
Very
But
true.
right now, that is not exactly what is happening. Instead, Donald Trump and his allies are injecting half-truths, misinformation, and flat-out lies in some cases in order to score a version of political points, I suppose. We saw something similar play out just this past October in the aftermath of Hurricanes Helene and Milton, when Trump repeatedly lied about FEMA spending disaster relief funds on migrants, which didn't happen. Also baselessly claiming that the Biden administration was
We sure about that? I mean, they say like we didn't spend it on them, but yet they were running out of fun. What people were trying to say was the money that was spent on these migrants was not taken out of the budget for FEMA. But what they were doing was we're running out of money with FEMA and we're not going to be able to help people, but yet you have like an endless open wallet for these migrants coming in. Like, that's how I viewed what people were trying to say. Now, they mushed it into, well, technically it's a different part of the budget, so they couldn't spend it on the migrants. No, what we're trying to say is, yes, the migrants were there, and then like you were spending so much money, but you're saying your budget is just, oh darn, we don't have enough over here. Oh, Butcher, you better say thank you to the great Jane Theory. She just bought you a membership. Thank you, Jane. That was sweet of you. Thank you so much. That's awesome. See that, people? That's what it is. But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? That's what people were. That's at least what I meant when I found out. Like, how is FEMA using money, endless open purse for migrants? But yet, and it was a crisis. But so are hurricanes. You know, like that's a true natural disaster. That's not man-made. Liam M says these politicians truly cannot empathize with the average person. They don't know what to do, so they smile stupidly, hoping it will make people feel better, as if they think we are children. Amen. Amen. Yeah, well, in 5 days, there'll be no more money spending on migrants and mass deportations. Let's just see what she says about that. Yeah, she's definitely going to say something. They did receive FEMA tents. I mean, they did. Jane says the Pentagon couldn't account for $2 trillion. They have money for domestic issues. It's all partisan nonsense. Yeah. The 2 million, those are called black sites and black projects.
Well, remember when Rumsfeld come out and said, "Yeah, we've got like $300 trillion that we can't account for." What happened the very next day?
What was the next day? The oh God, what did happen?
September 11th.
Yeah. Oh, you were talking about Rumsfeld. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like a week or two before that, the owner of the towers upped his insurance.
Yeah.
That so he actually made like a killing when he was about to go bankrupt. Yeah, that's some good stuff. And yeah, Jonathan's right. I haven't forgotten Biden's Afghanistan screw up. And Ukraine got some more money. I'm pretty sure LA sent them firefighting equipment like last year or the year before to Ukraine. You think the Ukrainians will send us some back? Because I mean,
no, just relying on the Mexicans to do it.
I heard a really good joke. I don't know if it's you guys in the chat tell me if this sounds racist. I thought it was a funny joke. And I want to learn if I'm off. I didn't know in history there was a large group of Germans that moved to Mexico. So I knew about like Germans after World War II sneaking into South America, but there was like even before that a large migration to Mexico, kind of like the Irish moved and the Scots moved into the Appalachians. And they have blue eyes, blonde haired, but speak fluent Spanish. Like they're from Mexico, born and raised. We call them Beaner Schnitzels. Beaner Schnitzels. Is that racist? Because I thought it was funny.
We here at Spoken News Podcast do not condone these actions from our former leader of the channel.
I thought it was hilarious, and I'm so wrong at things. Oops, my bad. I know I'm very wrong. Like I could be very wrong. Like that was probably a stupid thing I said, but it was I laughed my ass off. I really
What
did.
the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, my bad. Let me know in the chat. She goes, Nazis.
See, the thing of it is, when you say that, I kind of in my head go, Beaner Schnitzel. That sounds like it would be delicious.
Right?
I'm like, is it individual beans that are like crumbed and pan fried?
No, they would be in some type of like casing. Oh no, no, because Wiener Schnitzel or whatever it is like a pounded out.
Yeah, but a schnitzel is also crumbed, and that's what that's.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like a pounded out breaded. I had one. It was like
like breaded beans. So
yeah,
if you get
theirs would be
refried
breaded.
beans, you freeze it, you bread it, you deep fry it. There you go.
Oh my god, delicious! Let's do it. Parrot had a bad dad joke. Okay, maybe a bad dad joke. Okay. Yeah, Germans aren't a race. We got to make sure, you know. Yeah. I've been learning a lot about Aryans lately. That sounds bad, but like the history of like the Aryan DNA from like northern India and like the Persian area. It's very interesting.
Dude, if you want to know what a big problem that they're having over in India at the moment is again a massive influx of Aryans.
We love you. What? Say that again. I'm sorry.
There's a massive influx of Aryans moving into northern India at the moment.
Really?
It's freaking weird.
That I just even said that. That's weird because I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, that's kind of crazy. So they're all moving to Canada, and then the other ones are going to Zagon. Let's get in there.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
So many.
Thank you, Jane, again. Jane, thank you again for the membership. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, no, I've been watching this guy on YouTube.
Who ended up getting the membership? Butcher Blaviken got it.
Yeah, Butcher did. What up, Walton?
Hey, man.
What's up?
We were streaming tonight, but glad to be here. Hail the chat. I'll be here for as long as I can. I got a coaching appointment in a little bit, but I'm here.
Oh, you're coaching somebody?
Coach an appointment?
Yeah.
You're coaching somebody.
Yeah, I'm an abuse recovery coach.
All right, hold on. Is it like you can marry people? You got it from like a online church or something?
Hey, the
like,
universe is a legitimate place.
So are you like, do you make sure to tell people you're not like technically licensed?
So
this
I am a life coach.
Are you trying to get laid? Is that what we do here? Because
that's absolutely it's totally a ploy. I'm totally not trying to bang abuse victims. That's absolutely it.
What it's the only thing that gets me going.
Well, it worked for Scotty.
Anyways, member for 22 months. The lovely and now monetized Biggles Mets. Oh, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was an accident. Yeah.
It really was.
I'm so happy for you. Yeah.
It really was. It was. Biggles Mets. Remember, I don't believe Sporking is a real person. That could be true. That could be true. Oh, he just became a sponsor again. Thank you, buddy. Nice. Yeah. Emotes when sporking. Emotes when.
Yeah,
sporking.
emotes when. When are you gonna put emotes in the channel?
Ask Tina. Remember she told me about that like a year and a half ago? I think it was Tina, right? Tina said she was doing it, or was that you? I don't remember who said it.
Yeah, it's clearly either me or Tina because we sound exactly alike.
Well, I mean, I'm not racist or sexist. You know, I
But
don't
you've
see
just been
color.
studying up on the Aryan Brotherhood.
I don't see color
That's a
like
bit
you
racist.
do. No, you're racist.
What the?
No, it's just
That's not me.
no.
God damn
no,
it!
no. I was just trying to help Parrot Head. I was helping him.
You're
There's
doing visuals?
oh, Tina goes, it was me. That's great. Let's finish this. So this is Jen Psaki.
Jen Psaki.
Yeah, blaming Trump about, how his response to these California fires, like he's even in charge yet.
And incompetent in delivering aid, despite what elected officials of both parties on the ground said. Those lies were then spread and amplified by the richest man in the world on the social media site that he owns. So I guess none of us should.
And let's not leave out one of the smartest too. Let's not leave that out.
Does she have the same rhetoric when like Bezos or anything gets something said in the Washington Post?
Lean in, bro.
On the newspaper that he owns.
Yep. Amen to that, bro. Amen to that. I keep saying bro for some reason. Sorry about that.
Should have been shocked this week when Elon Musk posted that the Los Angeles Fire Department prioritized DEI over saving.
Okay, wait a minute.
They literally said, the head said her number one priority is diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I was just about to say the same thing.
She said that word for word.
Word for word. It was more important for her to get people hired because when you're in a fire and about to die, if someone busts through that door and it's a tall, strong white man, I don't want him saving me. Like, I want someone who represents me. So if you're a one-legged Asian trans man, you better hope that LA hired one because, you better not be caught in a fire. That's all I'm saying. But
I don't care if I'm rescued by a cannibal and he's licking me on the way out. Just get me out of that fire.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Like a serial bald, chubby rapist or something like that. The guy just loves bald, chubby guys. I would be like, just save me, and we'll talk about that later. But what she doesn't say is all the information down here that libs of TikTok found about this DEI enforcement through the fire department. She doesn't throw that part in. She just says they prioritize DEI over saving lives and homes, even though there is actual documentation that shows that. And she said it out loud.
Yeah. This is what smear campaigning looks like.
It is. It is.
Absolutely is. Huh? I do not.
No, Mark knows what he's talking about. Mark knows what he's talking about. I just want you to know that Mark knows.
I don't understand. No.
Yeah.
No.
The 3 lesbians are getting paid 3 times more.
Oh yeah, they're on like
over
$500,000 each. I think the main chick she's on, they said it was like 780,000 something a year.
Yeah, it's insane.
Plus she also does the part-time Coast Guard stuff, so she's almost got 20 years in that. So she'll get like 5 pensions when she retires at the age of 50.
Yeah, it's insane, man. And we put out a short from this past Saturday stream where we talked about the LA Fire Department chief. What she was saying about if your husband, or can you lift a man? Well, if your husband got himself in that position, then he should whatever. Go look at the short, which is doing pretty well for once.
I still don't get what they meant by that though. That's to me, that's the weirdest thing. What were they trying to say?
He was trying to say, like,
it
wasn't even an arrogant thing. It was, if you're going to question my strength, I'm going to question why are you even getting caught up in a fire? Like,
why are you bedridden?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, that's how I took it. I just didn't get it.
Yeah, I did not understand it. I'm going to share this little my little link to this because we got some views for once before YouTube stops us getting views. Just like our Saturday stream, they stopped it. Rumble, love you guys. Yeah, they stopped. They made sure there was like 19 copyright strikes.
Wow.
Yeah, there was like 5. There was 5. justified, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Love you, YouTube. Okay,
Mhm.
let's play a little bit more of this.
Fire department prioritized DEI over saving lives and homes. That's an exact quote. That appeared to be a disgusting dig at the city's fire chief, Kristen Crowley, who has served in the department for decades, rising through the ranks to become the first female and LGBTQ fire chief in LA's
Why
history.
does that matter?
What does it matter?
But let me say this. It's great that there is a woman in charge. It's great that she's LGBTQ and all that stuff. But if that's the reason she got hired, I have a problem with it. I have nothing against more representation. I think it's really valid that we do have more representation in every walk of life. But if you have to bring down the quality of employee because they can't reach those heights of physical strength or agility, anything like that, then it is a slap in the face of the next victim. So if you have, I mean, we saw that short where that older black firefighter was running and she was waddling. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I want to see in my firefighter, waddling to a fire. I want to see like
But
greased up dudes. I don't know.
It's not about legitimate concerns. It's about emotional reactivity. It's why journalism is so dead. They are not talking about any points that make sense. It is playing on someone's emotions. Can they hyper stimulate you and get you in a state where you're not thinking logically and you're just reacting to the propaganda that you're being fed by the mainstream media? That's all it is.
Right.
It's just playing on your fifis. Are your fifis aroused? Because that's the dopamine hit that most people look for.
And that's the other thing is if you question it, they'll take away everything I just said about I want more inclusivity. I want people, like I moved to the town I'm in because I didn't want my kids going to school with just white kids. I wanted them to meet kids of other nationalities, other cultures, and the idea that I didn't want to downgrade the school system either. So I made sure that it was even a better school system. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get a chief like this if the only reason she got hired was because of her female parts and her sexuality. That's ridiculous.
More so than that, I don't care if they were hired because of it. The fact that they've kept the job, if it's a protection to stop them from being fired, that's worse. So, like,
I think Brian puts.
Let's just say, for instance, this was the best person for the job with everything that done like that. Then clearly, you got to fall on your sword now. That's what a good person will do. They'll step away, saying, "I could have done more," not blame it on other people.
Nope, I got to step down.
No, but blame shifting is a part of their propaganda.
Right.
It's not about the competence of the person in that position. It is about the brownie points. It's not about any kind. That's why people like Scott, people like you, Grant, when you approach these things with logic and reason, oh my God, because that is the Achilles heel of people who use this type of rhetoric. It's about emotional reactivity. It is about virtue signaling. It is about saying that they're a good person in that moment. It's to an emotion, but not to the situation at hand.
Right. And when they're questioned, they don't know how to respond like a human being.
Absolutely not.
They respond like a child.
You're grown toddlers.
Really do.
Absolutely. It's narcissistic behavior. Yeah.
Yeah. And what about the women? Hold on. I want to read that one. And what about the woman that's over the water department? I think she's making
750,000. Yeah.
Wow. And she's in charge of like making sure there's reservoirs filled for firefighting.
Well, she said the city wasn't equipped to handle anything more than a small fire.
That's bullshit.
Trump approach
the place that has the second or third largest firefighting force in the country can only handle a few fires in a night.
Right. That's
because they're dumping 1 trillion liters a year of water out to the ocean.
Well, the smelts, dude. There's some smelts. What's up, Tina?
Hello. Sorry. Mom's doctor appointment ran long, and then my headset didn't have any power, and it was just like it was a Tuesday that was a Monday. So
yeah,
that's right. Just say that you hate us and you didn't want to see us. We get it.
Yeah, we get it.
We know us.
We get it. Don't blame your mom. Come on.
Yeah.
What do you think about anything? Have you been listening at least?
I've listened for like the last 10 minutes.
Okay, what do you think of what we were talking about?
With the fact that women are being paid to be lesbians instead of being
Yeah,
paid to
yep, that's a good
to
way
do
of putting it.
Oh, I mean,
I
I'll be paid to be a lesbian.
I cannot believe that the LA Fire Department hasn't gone back on the woman who said if your husband needs help in a fire, it's his fault and it
Right.
shouldn't
Oh,
matter that I can't carry him out. That's a bunch of bullshit because I mean, people could easily be injured, or your fellow firefighter could be injured while
yep.
battling the
Mhm.
flames.
We
And
shouldn't have got himself in that position, and should he?
well, I mean, it's the same feeling that I have about, women in frontline combat. There are women who can pull their weight
Mhm.
literally and more, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
they deserve, if they can, meet all of the strenuous conditions in order to be in combat, then I'm all for it. I said, but 80% of the women could not, even if,
Yeah.
See, the combat thing, I feel, is a different thing. It's not about the women being able to pull weight. It's about being a. I'm not going to say. I don't want to use the word distraction, but pulling away from the mission, because a soldier is more likely to leave a male soldier behind than they are a woman soldier. Plain and simple. It's in their nature to
agreed.
protect.
Well, yeah, we're
Absolutely
always
agree.
And
worried.
And I remember,
that's the big thing with the frontline stuff, is that the missions will be compromised on the fact that the women are there, not because of the women being incompetent, but because the men being the nature of the men that they are.
and that's a really, really good point. And when I remember when I was a teenager, when you think you know everything and you're going to tell off, my grandfather had served during World War II. And I said, well, I don't understand it. There's a lot of things that, because who knows if, I might be a better shot than, you were, Grandpa. So why
Mhm.
is it that, it's just absolutely wrong. If women want equal rights, then they need to be able to have equal responsibilities. And he just flatly turned around. He said, "Well, you've gone to health class. How many weeks in a row can a woman go without taking a shower and it have
Mm.
detrimental to her body parts?" I'm like,
Yeah.
Right,
"Oh
right.
shit, I
You
got
can't
nothing
be
to
out
say
in a
there."
jungle
Yeah, I
when
couldn't think,
you're
Exactly.
I
You
didn't think
can't be,
about that. Yeah.
think
yeah, you
about all
can't be out in the jungle.
the animals.
Exactly. I mean, but just think
Ugh,
about the fact. I mean, I'm sorry,
serious. Ugh.
especially it, and when women are, at their healthiest is when they're still menstruating. And
Yep.
I mean, I had a hell of a time when I was in my 20s. My body hated me. So I
Mhm.
couldn't imagine then also having to be in this high stress combat environment when all I want to do is curl up with my hot water bottle and lie in bed for 3 days. So
It's
Mhm.
it's,
insane. You know,
yeah,
I'm going to show you something. We're going to go to the Pete Hexel. I always screw up his
Hegseth.
last name. Yeah, thank you. He responds to a question about women in combat. So let's finish
Oh,
this up
excellent.
where she's blaming Trump and Musk for being conspiracy pushers.
Musk also amplified a post this week from conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Yes, that guy is still around. Alex Jones wrote that Los Angeles
Who looks amazing. Have you seen Alex Jones lately?
He looks like
Oh
20
my
years younger.
god.
No, it's not him anymore.
I
He's now half a foot taller. He's left-handed. He's skinny.
fires are part of a larger globalist plot to wage economic warfare and deindustrialize the United States before triggering total collapse. I mean, not sure that guy's okay. Musk responded to that post by writing, "True."
I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Yes, just to repeat.
No,
here,
he didn't put any
that's just the
quotation
richest
marks
man in
on
the
there.
world and the
Right.
best friend of the incoming president, confirming to his 200 million followers that he thinks the devastating wildfires are a part of a globalist plot.
Put a 1 in the chat if you agree to that.
Right.
It just looks really messed up that it completely went the path of that goddamn high-speed rail. And like, I don't care if you want to throw Trump in on that too. Like, he wanted that rail. It's just weird that it did happen. You know, there's all the ones.
And so now we're back in this vicious cycle where Trump and his new bestie push lies about a natural disaster, and then
Wow.
right-wing media runs with them.
Wow. Wow. Projection like a mofo. It's the mainstream media that has been attacking the people and giving disinformation and sowing dissent for the last 10 years.
Yep. So
Mm.
Sorry, Scott. I don't know if you know this, but Stream Elements has just timed out 2 people in the chat.
What?
Yeah, Jonathan93 was timed out, and someone was timed out earlier. I noticed. It just says Stream Elements timed out Jonathan. He literally just wrote 1.
Oh,
Well, that is.
that's
And
weird.
let's see. In his
You can see
previous
it on the
message
YouTube
was
side.
yeah, his previous message was welcome to California.
Yeah.
Oh
And
God, they've twisted Stream Elements now.
that's weird.
I've never seen Stream Elements. It said, yeah, this user was timed out by Stream Elements.
Yeah, let me check that. That's weird. I'll take a look
Sorry,
at that.
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan,
It's
I'm
not
sorry,
you,
man.
dude.
All right, brother.
The chat bots got you. Spam filters. I don't know. Mute
But
chat.
like he's only done like 3 messages all stream.
Oh, you know what it could be? Some of the mute chats who post messages containing Zalago text, special characters, but no, that's special characters.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'll have to
Yeah.
look at that. And I apologize. I'll take that one off first because he didn't repeat any.
No, I looked. So
Okay, I'm taking the Zaglo one off and one man spam protection because we could take care of that in the chat ourselves. All
yeah,
right,
CHA
sorry about
had
that,
one
guys.
earlier as well.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, another Welcome to California that was deleted from that.
That's weird.
That's weird. Yeah,
Like,
weird.
Well, maybe they weird. It's kind of weird. Oh shit! Did I already lose what I had before? Hold on one second. Okay, no, that's that one. Let me get the Pete Hegseth. No, the Pete one.
Hegseth.
I screw up his name every time.
Yeah,
Sorry, Pete. All right,
Chatbot's
here
done
it
it as
is.
well. Yeah, it did it to Brian earlier as well. Going
That's
back.
really strange. Let me know, guys. Keep an eye on that because I don't want anybody getting timed out. I wouldn't do that unless you're being like super awful, and we're all kind of awful. So, I'm gonna play a couple of these. But is this the one? No.
Well, you're
You
pulling
can't
that up
post.
based on
Actually, let's do a test. You can't.
Okay.
Everyone post 1 to see if it works, and then everyone just say a random word. I don't know, like tree fucker or something, and
No,
see if that
California.
gets banned.
Yeah, everybody put a 1 again in the chat and see if you get blocked.
I saw a really cool meme. I saw a real cool meme of Pete Hegseth dressed up to look like Captain America. It was pretty sweet.
The dude could be Captain America. I
Yeah.
mean, look at that guy. That's what I want in my defense secretary, not what we have now.
Agreed.
You know, that looks like they can't even run a mile. That's a good one to get blocked with. Alex Jones is cool. Australia isn't real. I like it. I like it. CJH again with the 69, still not getting blocked with that. So we'll see what happens. I want you guys to listen to this. This is what we were just talking about. When it comes to women in combat positions, Senator Ernst from Iowa was, I believe, a combat vet. She was in a role in combat. I'm not saying she's an actual, like, in a squad that, killing squad or anything, but listen to what they say.
As Secretary of Defense, will you support women continuing to have the opportunity to serve in combat roles?
Senator, first of all, thank you for your service, as we discussed extensively as well.
It's my privilege.
And my answer is yes, exactly the way that you caveated it. Yes, women will have access to ground combat roles, given the standards remain high, and we'll have a review to ensure the standards have not been eroded in any one of these cases. That'll be part of one of the first things we do at the Pentagon, is reviewing that in a gender neutral way, the standards, ensuring readiness and meritocracy is front and center. But absolutely, it would be the privilege of a lifetime to, if confirmed, to be the Secretary of Defense for all men and women in uniform who fight so heroic. They have so many other options. They decide to put their right hand up for our country, and it would be an honor to have a chance to lead them.
That's what I want to hear. I mean, That's what I want to hear in my defense secretary.
It was
That makes
beautiful.
I
sense.
want to know what hair gel he uses. That's amazing. His head didn't even move at all.
Freaking amazing. Yeah. Anybody want to speak on that? Go right ahead.
Yeah, all I've been seeing about is just a bunch of women yelling at him and him just being calm about it. I've never heard of this guy. I don't know anything about him. When I first saw him, I thought it was like Ivan Drago, like the American version.
Yeah,
Um,
I've liked
who is he?
him as a
What's?
Fox.
I don't know anything about him.
He was a Fox correspondent, or at least a guest
weekend
on
host.
Fox a lot. Oh, was it
Yeah.
weekend host? Okay, thank
He
you.
was a weekend like morning host, and like they only want to focus on that. Yeah, he served in the military for over 20 years.
Mhm.
I think he's qualified. I think he's
But
qualified.
he was on Gutfeld's show a
Yep.
lot, even
Yep.
before he had the guest hosting or the
Yep.
weekend hosting position. But yeah, I haven't seen any of his testimony, but I've seen a million memes with Gildebrand, Duckworth, Warren, and one other woman just screaming at him.
Oh yeah, we're about to see Warren because he gets her good. I don't know if this is the true statement from the LA Times, but yeah, their mayor, when the fire started, decided to take a trip. The mayor went to Ghana instead
Yeah,
of
well, she had to promote the new leader that was over there. I understand why she went now. They've literally lost 4 leaders in the last year and a half. So you want to get in while they're still alive.
Mhm.
But yeah, like that's the thing you want to do. Place is burning. I'm gonna go to Africa.
Right, and
Yeah.
worse, she decided not to leave Ghana promptly and didn't return to LA for over a day after the fires.
Our prime minister, he did it when we were going through our 31. He spent 2 weeks in Hawaii, and then came back for a week, and then went over to Honolulu.
Jeez.
That's insane. Old World Hastings, right? I said that right. I don't want women in combat roles. And another example how 90s Orthodox centric is now far right. Yeah, it's another example how 90s Orthodox centric is now far right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of where most of us were, kind of that center world of we want people to live their own lives
Yeah.
and be happy and just don't mess with mine and let's be fiscally responsible. Yeah, that is now far right, if
Mhm.
I'm reading that correctly. Um, this is Pocahontas herself, the great senator from Massachusetts. Let's hear what she has to say. Senator Warren, take the stage.
You're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
So one of the things he said and Trump said, and I agree with, is this idea that the defense division, food and pharma, when you're in the federal government and you pass something that's questionable, and then a year later you're on their board, there should be some type of rule against, because
Yeah.
it's pretty much what is the term they use?
Pay to play.
Pay to play. Thank you. So this is her question to him, and we'll hear it one more time. Because he did say, I think they should wait. Any general, anybody, officials should have to wait 10 years before they go to Rathcon
Absolutely.
or one of these others, right?
You're quite sure that every general who serves should not go directly into the defense industry for 10 years. You're not willing to make that same pledge?
I'm not a general, Senator.
Boom.
You'll be the one. Let us just be clear. In charge of the generals, you're quite.
Oh man, shut up. He just burned you.
Yeah.
Burned
It doesn't make sense. Their arguments, the arguments from these types of people don't make sense.
Yeah.
It's about her interests and her emotions.
It is a good question, though. I mean, like, if you're willing to say they can't, you shouldn't either as the defense secretary, but it was a good zinger. It was a good zinger. She tried to grill him hard. Like it's the same, partisan thing. The Republicans are making him seem like a squeaky clean, beautiful guy. Others are bringing up his drinking record. Like they are anyone to speak on that.
Gotta smear him.
Yeah. So I like this guy too. Mullen, I think his name is, what he had to say.
I
Here
love
we
the
go.
senator next to Warren that just like did the
Yeah.
entire head tilt along with
Yeah.
eye roll.
Yeah. He was like, oh shit.
I'd like to submit for the record signatures by 32 members of the House of Representatives who are veterans. The signatures call on the Senate to honor the constitutional duty of advise and consent by conducting a fair, thorough confirmation process that evaluates his nomination solely on the substance and merits. His distinguished military service, academic credentials, and a bold vision for revitalizing the national defense. I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record.
Without objection.
There's a lot of talk going about talking about qualifications and then about us hiring him if we are the board. But there's a lot of senators here I wouldn't have on my board because there is no qualifications except your age, and you got to be living in the state and you're a citizen of the United States to be a senator. Other than the fact we got to convince a lot of people to vote for us. And then when we start talking about qualifications for if you're qualified for it, could the chairman tell me what the qualifications are for the Secretary of Defense? Mr. Chairman?
This is good.
Could you tell me what the qualifications are for the Secretary of Defense?
I'd be happy
I'll read it.
for you to do
yeah,
that.
Let me read it for you because I Googled
I
it.
was getting some advice from
I
my
understand
second
that.
in command.
Yeah, but I'm
Brap. What's Gucci, my ninjas?
So
Guess who
bad.
that is? Who became a sponsor once again? Yeah, I do like the guy next to him, Mr. Bud. That's a great name. Mr. Bud. All right, let's hear what he has to say. Wait a minute. The senator next to Mullen is Tommy Tuberville from Auburn Tigers football. Wait a minute. It is? I didn't even recognize that.
I'm just making a point because there's a lot about qualifications. And I think it's so hypocritical
Come on,
of
is that
senators,
really him?
especially on the other side of the aisle, be talking about his qualifications, not being able to lead the secretary or be the Secretary of Defense, and yet your qualifications aren't any better. You guys aren't any more qualified to be the senator than I'm qualified to be the senator, except we're lucky enough to be here. But let me read you what the qualifications of the Secretary of Defense is, because I Googled it and went through a lot of different sites, and really it's.
See, what I thought he was going to say there when I first heard this was talk about the Secretary of Defense right now, their qualifications. Because them's qualifications, I don't know, but
It's hard to see, but in general, the U.S. Secretary of Defense position is filled by a civilian. That's it.
Shit, I didn't know that. It's
Damn.
just civilian. Now, am I wrong? Isn't the Secretary of Defense right now a military person? Isn't she? Right? Isn't it one of the I'll have to look that up.
The he/hims?
Yeah, I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on.
If you have served in the U.S. Army Forces and have been in the service for, you have to be retired for at least 7 years, and Congress can weigh that. And then there's questions that the senator from Massachusetts brought up about serving on a board inside the military industry, and yet your own secretary that you all voted for, Secretary Austin, we had to vote on a waiver because he stepped off the board of Raytheon. But I guess that's okay because that's a Democrat Secretary of Defense. But we so quickly forget about that. And then Senator Kane, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night? Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job? And don't tell me you haven't seen it because I know you have. And then how many senators do you know have got a divorce before cheating on their wives? Did you ask them to step down? No. But it's for show. You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because the man's made a mistake. And you want to sit there and say that he's not qualified? Give me a joke. I mean, it is so ridiculous that you guys hold yourself as this higher standard and you forget you got a big plank in your eye. We've all made mistakes. I've made
Mhm.
mistakes. And Jennifer, thank you for loving him through that mistake. Because the only reason why I'm here and not in prison is because my wife loved me too.
Amen.
Oh,
Amen.
That's awesome. I mean, we had a president who was receiving jobs in the Oval Office, but we're worried about whether or not Hegseth had an affair on his wife.
Right. I
Ridiculous.
mean, and she meant to say blowjobs. Look at the dress. We have the dress, in fact. Don't forget about that. Yeah, and it's hypocritical. They're both sides get hypocritical when this stuff happens. I made a mistake though. The Secretary of Defense right now actually is a qualified man, actual man. Maybe I was thinking of the Surgeon General or something like that.
Is that man in a dress?
Yeah, the one in the dress, the one that wears military. It just maybe it's the head of the generals. What is that called? You know what I'm trying to say here, people. It's late. I'm a little tired. Raytheon. Yeah, Raytheon is a defense their employee.
You are thinking of Admiral Rachel Levine, MD, who is the head of Health and Human Services.
That's right.
Wow.
Or I'm sorry, that she is the head of.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Mental health is not a priority at that department.
No, no. Yeah, they're trying to, this man is definitely qualified. I mean, you just look at his uniform, look at where he served. I mean, these are all where he has been served down here. I want to say was he a major? I don't know what. No, that looks like is that 2 silver? I don't know. I thought he was a major. He might have been a little lower than that, but still the man served. Okay. Like this idea that he is not qualified is just ridiculous. Yeah. What about Eric Swallow slept with he slept with a Chinese spy. Yeah,
exactly.
But he's not.
And Hegseth also went to Princeton and Harvard.
Yeah, he's a smart dude. There was another one I had. Oh, I think this is another one. Oh my God, this is one of the dumbest questions. I love it though. I love it. This one's for you, Slender Dad.
Would you use our military to take over Greenland or an ally of Denmark?
Senator, one of the things that President Trump is so good at is never strategically tipping his hand. And so I would never in this public forum give one way or another direct what orders the president would give me in any context.
It sounds to me that you would contemplate carrying out such an order to basically invade Greenland and take over Continental. Would you use...
What an idiot. Like he's just look at his laugh. Look at his laugh. He's just laughing at her.
Just they're stupid and childlike, and it's all about okay. You're not going to answer that I'm right. They're children.
Yeah, they are children. You want to see how sick these people can be? Watch this one. This one pissed me off earlier.
Completely cleared. Can you so casually cheat on a second wife and cheat on the mother of a child that had been born 2 months before, and you tell us you are completely cleared? How is that a complete clear?
Senator, her child's name is Gwendolyn Hope Hegseth, and she's a child of God, and she's 7 years old.
And she was, and you cheated on the mother of that child less than 2 months after that daughter was born, didn't you?
What a piece of shit.
What a
Those
piece
were
of
false
shit.
charges. Well, no, fully investigated, and I was completely cleared. And I
completely cleared. Can you so casually
completely
cheat?
Cleared? He was completely cleared of that.
Yeah, that dude needs an ass kicking. That is what a piece of shit. You don't bring that up. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you a professional at all?
Senator Tim Kaine.
How the hell does he even have a job? How the hell is that person even in our government? What a fucking complete another piece of trash.
And that girl goes to school tomorrow going, huh?
Exactly.
So I don't know what your dad did 7 years ago.
No care whatsoever about the family, no care whatsoever about anyone in that situation, the wife, what they've had to go through in order to come back together. That is a soulless, demonic piece of shit right there.
Yeah. Remember, he was Hillary's running mate.
Piece of shit.
Right? Tim Kaine was the nod, right? Yeah, you're right. Look at Lindsay kicking it up.
On Tim.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, he needs an ass whooping, that dude.
Oh,
I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying.
he's turned on by the story. Yeah, it's kind of sick, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, did you
freaking
see his
sick.
hair? Look at him. He's getting off. Look at him, God. He's.
Yep.
Oh, no, I'm
How
not going
about?
to go there.
I mean, the same guy who was Hillary's running mate is bringing up him having an affair while his running mate's husband had multiple affairs, like
It ain't
in
about-
the
it ain't-
Oval Office.
No, but it's not about what he's done. It's not about anything like that. It's about the character assassinating the person before him, his enemy, about being heartless, soulless, no compassion, no couth whatsoever. It is all about a character assassination.
Yep.
That is a person that has no heart, no soul.
Right. And I love how Jonathan 93 puts it. Dems, the party of single mothers, the father is the bad guy. They've villainized men for how many years now? Almost 10. Like, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, you had President Obama before the election telling black men that they're not down with voting for a woman because they have issues with a woman being in charge. Obama, shut up, dude. Like, he was trying to be like, brothers, like, shut up, man. You're related to Bush, so shut up. I just, yeah, the democratic. Yeah, I'm with you, Lindsay. I really am. I used to be one of them. That's the scary thing. Yeah, I think there was a couple others that were pretty good. Here, I like what this guy has to say. It's kind of, what is he talking about? I don't know if I heard him correctly.
Relevant to service, and the all-volunteer force visibly reflects the nation it protects. Our military is more diverse than it has ever been, but more importantly, it is more lethal than it has ever been. This is not a coincidence. Mr. Hegseth, I hope you will explain why you believe such diversity is making the military weak and how you are relevant to service.
He never said it. It's like, these people are just focusing on him saying, let's stop dropping the qualifications to allow more people in that aren't qualified, and literally putting those people in danger.
That goes against their agenda. Their agenda is virtue signaling. It's about playing on peaceful people's emotions. It is about supporting the weak, not creating a strong military. They don't give a damn about a strong military. They don't. It is about their objectives. These people should have term limits. There's no reason why someone that old and out of touch should be in office.
Amen. And Slender Dad put it right. I don't know if he's exactly right, but I think he's close. Throughout the entire hearing, the Democrats asked a total of 4 questions. They just kept rephrasing it. They have nothing on him. Like, at one point, I thought it was going to be the hardest nominee to get through. One of the hardest, because he does have a past. He does. He has a bit of a past.
We all got damage. We all got a past.
Everybody does. That doesn't mean he's not qualified for the job.
Exactly.
And I liked what that other senator said, like, turn the mirror on yourselves. They're the most hypocritical people, both sides, I know, but right now we're seeing the hypocritical side of the Democratic Party. And it's just, it's disgusting where, like, talking about the man's child, screw you, dude.
Yeah. Trying to get him unhinged, trying to create an emotional reaction from him. Because if they do that, then they can wedge their way in. This is how manipulators operate. That's all they are.
And the same reason the women screamed at him, figuring, well, if he raised his voice or lost his cool at one point.
Right. I mean, it's so stupid.
Well, it is stupid. It's childish. It's childlike. And this is why we need to fire these people. We need term limits. We need to get them out of office because they're not looking out for the American people. They're lining their own pockets. And it's all about their fee-fees. It's all about living in their world. They wouldn't know what to do if they were in any of our shoes, if they were paying a mortgage, if they were working a 40-hour job, if they were struggling to fucking feed kids. They wouldn't know what to do. It is all about supporting their oligarchy.
Yeah. The one they did get him on is this one. She got him good on this one. I got to give her credit.
I'm glad that you mention it. Can you name the importance of at least one of the nations in the ASEAN, and what type of agreement we have with at least one of those nations? And how many nations are in ASEAN, by the way?
I couldn't tell you the exact amount of nations in that, but I know we have allies in South Korea
in Japan and in AUKUS with Australia, and trying to work
Okay.
on submarines with them.
Mr.
and data
Hegseth,
transfers
none
with
of those
them.
countries
We
are
have
in
allies
ASEAN.
across.
None of those 3 countries that you've mentioned are in ASEAN. I suggest you do a little homework before you prepare for these types of negotiations.
Oh, well, I'm
Listen.
better than you.
Yeah,
I'm
and
better
that-
than you
right.
because I brought up something I know you wouldn't have any idea about, and I don't even have any idea what the hell she's talking about. But I'm better than you because I know about this, and you don't. What a piece of narcissistic shit.
It's kind of like not
She's had a lot of
NATO.
time to read because she's been
Right.
sitting down on the job for years.
Right. It's one of those things where it's not NATO, but it is a group of nations in the South Pacific that we have like just to counteract with China. So it's a group which I always thought
Okay.
South Korea, Japan were involved. I guess they're not. So like I loosely knew of that, and that's something I didn't know. Guess what? I can learn in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, but Australia is, you got one right, so.
Yeah. Is Australia in it? Oh, okay. I thought she said none of them were.
Exactly.
Let's see.
She knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. She proves she's I can't highlight that one. That was good. He never said they were in whatever obscure group that is. Yeah. It's just that's like the only thing I saw that they got him, and that was nothing. Everything else seemed pretty fair.
Under all that pressure, yeah, I mean, he did an amazing
They got
job.
him, but
I
it
mean,
was no. They got him, but it was no. Can you define woman? I'm not a biologist. Answer.
Yeah,
Nothing was
right,
like
and it
that.
was also it was also something that most people who are interested in that topic wouldn't have any idea what she was talking about. You know, so I think it makes them look even more stupid on their own grandstanding. You're right. They did not. To imagine the strength that it takes to be around people who are practiced at pushing your buttons, digging into your past, character assassinating you, ruining your reputation. To be able to sit in that room and having a past and have the strength and the fortitude to endure that. I think, if anything, that shows that whatever mistakes he has made in the past has proven himself as mettle as a man, as an individual, as a person, and is competent enough to hold a job with that type of pressure and position.
Yeah. Amen, dude. Amen. Hegseth 57, Dems 1. Here's one last one from Senator Cotton.
Big audience here. Many of them seem to be patriotic supporters of you, Mr. Hegseth. Some of them seem to be liberal critics of you. I would note that it's only the liberal critics that have disrupted this hearing, as was my custom during the Biden administration. I want to give you a chance to respond to what they said about you. I think the first one accused you of being a Christian Zionist. I'm not really sure why that is a bad thing. I'm a Christian.
Once again, the Democratic Party is the demonic party. They're fine if you came up there and said you're a Muslim. But if you are a Christian and a white Christian male, they despise you. There is something sinister going on with the Democratic Party when it comes to Christianity. Because I am sorry, this nation of ours, like people are like, it's a just a mishmash of all different cultures. It's a melting pot, this and that. No, this culture is based on Christian values. It is. It was founded on Christian values. And yes, there are other groups that have come in.
Founded by Christians, ran by Jews.
Yeah.
The way any good nation should be.
But we say you have a right to come here and believe what you want to believe and practice the faith you want to believe. And you have all the right in the world of that. But you cannot come here and try to destroy our culture and our faith and make us the demons. You know, the idea, like, you have so many groups, Irish, Italians, the blacks kind of got forced to come here. I'll give you that. This, but like Spanish, people from South America, even, mostly Chinese when they came over during the railroads, and like Asian cultures that came over. They don't try to change our nation's fundamental beliefs, but there is a group right now that is, and that group is the Democratic Party. And it's a ideology of, this LGBTQ weird world, DEI world they're trying to force down our throats. That they're trying to destroy from within. The only way you can.
Everything is about projection. Nothing is about accountability. And then they absolutely do not want us coming together and communicating with one another and exchanging ideas. They want to control all that information. They want to control social media. They want to control your media. Because the exchange of ideas at places, wholesome places like churches or religious gatherings, it goes against their narrative. It goes against, it allows people the idea to talk with one another and come to their own conclusions in a community. What does evil want to do? I mean, we'll take it to light and dark, however guys want to look at it, but take it to light and dark. What does dark do? It infiltrates and disguises itself as light and then destroys it from within. And that is what we are seeing. It is definitely Luciferian. It definitely has to do with evil. And you're right, they are trying to destroy.
Dark only exists when something obscures the light.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Grant? I didn't hear you.
I said dark only exists because something has obscured the light.
Obscured the light. Absolutely, brother.
Oh, I follow Razor Fist. He's good stuff. You know who
I just wish Razor Fist was a little bit more animated. He's just too
he
like
just doesn't
milquetoast.
He's calm.
Yeah, he's very calm. Very calm.
Maybe more words. Too. A little more wordy.
I don't care what anybody says. I've been loving watching, and I've been watching him now for a few years. The journey of Russell Brand, dude. He is like a Christian, like upright citizen now, and like from like 5 years ago, he was like this just lunatic.
He was in a relationship. He was married to Katy Perry, and Katy Perry was the crazy one. That was Richard Brand was, jumping off buildings, having orgy. Like that's how bad it was that he said, "I've got to get away from this. I need to find God."
Yeah, right. You ever see like
Katy
the
Perry's
video?
number.
You ever see the video of her glitching? She glitched the Matrix type thing. Gap.
Well, no,
wants me
she's with Orlando Bloom now.
Yeah,
and they spend most of their time robbing the dead of their houses. I don't know if you know about. Do you know about that whole thing that they're
she
doing?
like bought churches. I thought.
Yeah.
What do they do?
She's got a connection of people who are really wealthy and that are basically on their deathbed and up on drugs, and she's made millions out of acquiring houses that way and fighting people. And then when they say no, I was too out of it, or I was, incoherent or unconscious or whatever it was, she just puts a hold on the suit and waits for him to die. She literally had a nun beg God, get down on her knees and beg her to stop, and then in the process of doing that, drop dead.
That was the church, right? That she purchased. Oh my God.
That's insane.
She's evil.
Yeah. No wonder he went, you know what? I might try something different.
That's terrifying. Gap wants to know, Walton, what countries are part of the coffee enema pack?
Colombia.
Colombia. I'm gonna bring up one. All right, let me remove this for a second because our boy CGH has been dedicated following us. So I want to bring up something he sent me that I can't say it's real or not, but it is terrifying looking. Where did that go? Hold on one second. Let me refresh. Yeah, the picture is, dude, CGH, it's terrifying what the picture you have. Like, just these people look not real. All right, so I wonder if I'll pull them one at a time. I could just do it like that. So people are saying this is the funeral for Carter, Jimmy Carter, and they're saying, does that look like George W? I mean, he has aged.
He looks more like his dad in this picture now.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
He looks old. We'll say that.
Definitely.
But then you get this picture, someone saying they're all actors. Now look at, isn't that Bush next to her? It doesn't look completely different in that picture.
He does look very different. This looks like, that picture looks more like Bush than the one you just shared.
Yeah, this looks like Bush, like the hair. Look at the hair.
Right.
Now let's go back to that other one.
And that looks more like his
more
father.
full. It's darker. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's just
Pictures from the completely other side of his body. That's why.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize it was Al Gore behind him.
Yeah, that's
I
Al
haven't seen
Gore.
Al Gore in so long.
Yep, Al Gore. You got
Pence.
Pence,
the traitor.
That traitor son of a bitch. You got Kamal. You got Big Mike's not in the. Wait a minute, was Big Mike not there?
Big Mike wasn't there. No.
She is not there, and she is not coming to the inauguration either.
Oh, she is such a catty one. Catty dude. And
She's a
Biden-
handsome fella, though. I'll give her that.
yeah, Biden's praying. He's not asleep. He's praying. That's Biden praying.
So
I also thought
Hillary.
it was funny that Barack and that they're like laughing with each other.
Oh yeah, Barack
Trump
and Trump. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all a game. It's all for show. Like when Trump just destroyed Schumacher, Senator, what the hell's his name?
I thought you were going to say Schumacher. I was like, he was
I
never
did.
a Formula One driver.
Yeah. Schumer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Schumacher. That's my entertainment side. Yeah, Schumer, like roasting him. The dude was just laughing, having a good old time. Like, okay, you got me. Like, dude, they all act like they're enemies.
No, he was pissed
They're
off,
not.
dude. He was not taking that in stride.
Oh, I liked it.
when he went to the roast and everyone started turning on him, that was the moment he went, fine, I'll become president. Plain and simple. He's like, I'll do it now.
Man, my theory is the original politicians have been dead for a while and they've been replaced with actors. CGH, I love the holes you go down. Your rabbit holes are
Ooh.
rabbit
You
holes.
love the way he goes down on your holes?
Yeah, that please don't clip that. Yeah, all right. So I did put it as the headline, so we're gonna have to talk about this real quick.
France sucks. Let's move on. There we go.
Yeah, France really does suck. Where is it? The French. It's hilarious to me though. They got what they deserved. So there's a theater in France, okay, that in a way they were trying to make like wave their woke flag and say we're helping the migrants, because that's the new term for illegal alien, migrants. Okay. And what happened to them is just priceless. So liberal theater called Giat is facing bankruptcy after letting 250 plus African migrants last month in for like an event, and they just never left. They just never left.
So the main factors of the thing of it is they were saying we're such good people. We're going to let these people come in that don't have anywhere to go. They can stay for half an hour and watch a show and then go home to the streets. It was freezing out there,
right? And it was freezing.
You know, it's below zero, as we would say. You know, it's cold enough that ice starts to form.
Yep.
And they wondered why these people wanted to stay.
Yeah. Jane, early on, I mean, this was way earlier before we started the show. She put this up hoping that, because if she wasn't going to be here, she wanted us to know. The funniest thing about the French case is that those homeless people were literally lured there for a show. They stayed because it's freezing. It was the ultimate Uno reversal. That's so good. Who even goes, hey, freezing, hungry, homeless person, enjoy a free show. Then we will get positive attention and you can go back to your tent. That's crazy work. She's so right.
Yeah.
So right. I love when they get going off of what you just said, Grant, like, during Biden's, first couple of years where Texas was they're racist, not wanting all these migrants and taking care of them. And then they decided, Florida and Texas decided to start busing them to like Martha's Vineyard, and Martha's Vineyard got like 20 migrants and they froze. They didn't know what to do. So they made fools of themselves saying they couldn't be here. Then they realized this is bad. Oh no, they can stay. And I think it was like 2 weeks and then they shipped them off to somewhere else. Like all these northern, and I'm in the north, but these northern liberal cities that are talking shit about the migrants in Texas, how terrible they're being treated. But the minute they get sent to places like Chicago, and they can't handle it.
If it was the reverse, if it was Canada coming down, they'd be kicking up a stink.
Yes. Good way of putting it.
It's like shit, they're coming over our borders. They're bringing poutine.
Chicago.
Some of them are good.
Chicago started fining the bus companies to prevent them from coming into the city limits. So what they were doing is they were going to the suburbs just outside the city and then giving them all tickets to jump on the train to take them the last 15 minutes across the city limits. So then this way they couldn't be fined by the city of Chicago because they didn't stop there. They stopped the other side of the block.
That is so good. That is so good. French woman divorced her millionaire husband because she was fooled by fake AI Brad Pitt image. The woman believed that she would be able to leave her husband for Brad Pitt and lost 850,000 instead.
Oh my
Damn.
God, that's
Oh,
Ian Walton, when
people,
you take revenge on a chick, you go full on.
full
All
on,
in, baby.
full in, dude. Here, I want to get a couple more of these. French theater.
Why would you give Brad Pitt $850,000?
Yeah, that's a catfish and a half, bro. That is
Like,
a
Yeah,
I
catfish
mean,
and a
that's-
half.
I feel sorry for the woman that's gone through that, but my God, I need to meet some of these dumb rich women.
Yeah, right.
They're out there, man.
There's plenty of us.
They've been there for 5 weeks.
What, the
And
dumb
now
rich
they're-
women? All right, I mean,
Nah, yeah, we're in. We're in. Yeah. 5 weeks, dude. 5 weeks at that.
who needs
Theater.
monetization?
Oh, good for them. Good for them. I love it. And
Does France have like a squatters' rights thing over there? Do you know?
there
Oh,
has
I
to
don't
be
know.
something because, like, why haven't they had? Well, I guess it would look bad if they take them out by force, but I mean, there's been a lot of people like
The French police don't
protesting
fuck
for
around
them.
though. They're notoriously brutal. That's what
Yeah.
makes it really weird.
Yeah, I didn't know that about French.
Remember
that's
how
for
they were kicking the
migrants.
shit out of their citizens when there was that, attempted bombing and the massacre?
Oh, yeah, right.
We're beating you for your safety.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is what's happening now. Like, go to England. I wouldn't.
No,
I don't
don't
want to
go
go
to
to
the East.
England anymore. I don't want to go there anymore. Like, literally, there was okay. We haven't talked about this much, and maybe I can find it. But there was a vote that came up in their parliament about 20. There was 20-year long investigation, I guess, into these gangs that were selling girls, like
Yeah, child
brutalizing
grooming.
these girls. Yeah, grooming these girls, like terrible things. I mean, terrible things to these young girls. And at all levels, they knew about it. But because they were a protected group, this gang, no one wants to do anything about it. So instead of protecting these British girls and girls of the culture that the gang is also,
Well,
they just keep turning a blind eye.
did you hear about the case of the girl who was assaulted sexually by multiple men, and they're walking around? So the father did what the father does and got angry at it, but instead of taking violence out on them, he went on internet and ranted about it, called
And
them
they put him
fucking
in jail,
animals
right?
and this and that. He's in jail.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the father.
He's in jail. The
He
father's in
should
jail.
have just killed him. I'm
Yep.
not telling.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I didn't say that. Hypothetically.
Rise up.
Yeah, in
Rise up,
Minecraft.
people.
You should have
Yeah.
taken him up to the highest peak in Minecraft, told them to pray to whatever god they pray to, and then push them off in Minecraft.
In
Well, it's not
Minecraft.
God.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
I figure if I'm going to Minecraft, if I'm going to jail in Minecraft, I'm going to jail for a damn good reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Zombie said he would leave if he could.
Yeah, here, let's see. I want to just get one quick article on this. This is from
You need to get a
This is
really strong,
crazy.
really strong fertilizer in like a big area, so like you just get the worms to eat them
yeah.
in
Right?
Minecraft.
Well, apparently
In
this
Minecraft.
theater has lost $30,000 in revenue so far due to the number of performances they've had to cancel. However, it would be unbecoming of them to ask the migrants to leave. So they want them to leave on their own, you know.
Maybe go someplace that's warm, like Africa. Like maybe, I don't know, go back home.
Well,
I don't know.
this is the thing
But-
you've got to understand. This is the thing you got to understand about Africa. Africa is a graveyard for Africans. Every African that's ever successful, they go live in Europe. They get their medical stuff in Germany. They buy mansions in LA. They only ever go back to Africa to die. Africa is just a graveyard for Africans, plain and simple.
Wow.
That
There's an
I did
elephant
not know.
analogy there somewhere.
Yeah, something.
Oh, the local businesses are also losing lots of money because the theater patrons aren't coming there for the performances because the performances aren't happening. And then they're not even getting any street traffic because the surrounding blocks outside the theater are covered with the men coming in and out of
Imagine that.
the theater.
I
They're
don't
not even,
understand.
they're not even eating all the popcorn there because the popcorn's not halal.
Oh, let's not talk about the
There you go.
renovations that are going to need to take place, because who knows if they used to.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, they said that they're having major sanitation issues.
Oh yeah. They just
So
This girl here is so freaking brave. What she was going up to say
yeah.
and telling a story, man. That's absolutely nuts.
Her story was it's oh man, it's horrific. So the thousands of horror stories of underage girls being sexually exploited in the UK by grooming gangs of Pakistani origin, yeah, man, had a set of keywords: fancy cars, young white girls, alcohol and drugs, gang grapes, and death threats. There was also an unmistakable pattern in how the gangs operated and thrived since the 90s. That is
Jeez.
why a section of activists and politicians are up in arms against British Prime Minister Keir, I guess,
Keir
Starmer.
Starmer.
Yeah, who cares? He's a Brit. No offense, Andy. And his stance of refusing to conduct a national probe into gangs and the extent of their crimes. Could it be because they're Pakistani?
Pakistani has a high Muslim population, and Keir
Mhm.
Starmer ran a huge thing about being. He said Islamophobia is the worst problem, and it's the one thing that he's going to stamp out.
Those girls are just phobics.
There's
so they're-
places over there that the ambulance don't go, the police don't go. It's they just rule themselves.
Well, when your police carry sticks, yeah. The Times first reported about this in 2005. Journalist Andrew Norfolk saw a pattern in 2009 case and investigated several such cases from 2011 and 2015. Norfolk, however, speaking to the news agent of Apple Podcast, said the far right had from the very beginning tried to politicize this issue. His remarks came against the backdrop of Tesla boss Elon Musk's allegations that the mainstream British media didn't report on the horrific crimes. Musk called out the prime minister for not doing anything about the grooming gangs cases. Yeah, that's just a far right.
Yeah, how
right there.
How horrible.
Norfolk, who saw the pattern, told the Times that corners over racism and other cultural sensitivities meant that the causation factor had never been properly examined. Wait a minute. Concerns over racism? What? They're a gang, dude. It doesn't matter what,
Because it's about identity politics, gobbledygook nonsense. These are people that run these countries that don't care about people. They only care about keeping their power and keeping their money. Keep you divided. They don't care. They'll breed out the whole nation with these terrorists.
Yeah.
They'll breed them all out. They don't give a damn about your average citizen.
Yeah. It's disgusting, dude.
It is disgusting. It's awful. Rise up, y'all.
And this, and if they weren't just white girls, maybe something would have happened.
It's probably not just white girls. It's probably any girls that they can get a hold of, anything they can groom, anything they can grab and grape.
Oh no, this gang, they may do some, but it is they want white girls. That's because they sell them off to other Pakistani groups and stuff. It's a thing,
Trafficking, absolutely.
It's trafficking of a certain group, and any of this is, I don't care what color they are. It's terrible, but I think it's because they're white girls and these are Pakistani immigrants. They don't want to touch it. Like, dude, reverse that. White gangs, Pakistani girls. This would have been squashed. I think, at least. Though there are debates about whether to highlight the ethnicity of the perpetrators, who are mostly Pakistani men, what is not debatable is the brutal gang grapes and unmissable similarities in the grooming gang cases. All these cases have similar pattern of men picking up white girls in fancy sport cars, wooing them as a boyfriends. It's just this is every pimped story. And then sending them to older men. Then there is the use of drugs and alcohol and asking them to have sexual relations with older men. These men also felt that though these women had not protected themselves well. Wow.
Wow, man.
Let's blame the victim.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And dude,
Yeah, you should have seen what she was wearing.
yeah, this is something that women that are not from Europe, like France and England, like you have to be prepared. Like you get in a taxi, don't give any information. You know what I mean? Like they talk them up, they flirt with them, they find out, oh, you're staying at this hotel because they're dropping them on. What room you guys in? We'll party later. Give me a call. Blah, blah, blah. This is taken. And there is no Liam Neeson to help these girls. There's none.
I just keep thinking of these young girls. Like I remember somewhere between the age of 15 and 16, I learned the power of the Catholic schoolgirl uniform.
Right.
And I can't say that I use that power responsibly all the time, but I do remember the day that my grandmother says, I know what you're advertising. They know what you're advertising. So unless you plan on paying the bill at the end of the night, as in you better do it, don't play the game.
Yeah. That's great.
Your grandma was pimping you out?
Yeah, your grandma knew what was up.
No, she was saying, don't advertise what you're not going to give.
Yeah.
Right.
I like what Jonathan says here. Real victims too. Unlike the victims, you know, in the genocide of people in America. Oh, the transgender genocide. Like, come on. It's ridiculous. These are at least 1,400 children, some as young as 11.
Oh my God.
Are there not mobs of dads out there handling?
Well, it's not. Well, it's because it's not as bad as January 6th. That's why.
Yeah, right. J6, baby. Let's take a moment of silence.
Awesome.
Okay.
The one of the first of the first dozen tasks that that Trump performs better be pardoning all J6.
Oh yeah, damn right.
I bet that's like the first. That after the wall, maybe. You know, like it's one of the first. Yeah, so they lure them the old-fashioned way. I mean, they do the young guys, you know, woo them. They give expensive gifts, this and that. They get them to become drug addicts.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's one of the big ones. Yeah. And then, you know, from pretense of love to burning girls alive. A handgun used by a man to impress a young girl was later turned on her and used to threaten her. The gang also made use of younger relatives to woo the girls. These men act as their boyfriends and use the time to get information on the girls. That information was subsequently, yeah, I could speak, used by older men who brutally abused the girls. Such men were and are clever. They did not approach the girls themselves. In fact, they used boys to carry out the initial pickups. These boys were often paid to do such work and would run errands for the seniors, including the delivery of drugs. In one instant, a girl was burnt alive at her Telford home along with her teenage sister and mother by the person who groomed and had a child from her. What? By the person who groomed and had, oh my God.
Yeah,
And
they
the
don't care
girl
about life.
She was pregnant for a second time when he did
They
that.
don't care about life. They don't care about life.
Yeah,
These are animals.
I remember my father telling me the worst words he ever heard coming out of out of one of his daughters was, "But Daddy, he loves me."
Oh yeah, I'll kill that. Man. It's so sad that they're doing nothing. Nothing. They're covering it up. They had a vote about this and a vote to look into it, and they decided, nah, we're not gonna do that.
Guys, never let your government take your guns away.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's wrong. Yeah, pardon Snowden too. Yep.
And make sure your daughter's boyfriends know more about your gun collection than you do.
Yep.
Speak, Mom.
A legit Indian channel. Don't look into it. Dumb. It's the Pakistanis. You wouldn't see an Indian doing it. That's awesome. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, dude, it's really, but Snowden, he's one of the ones that I didn't look into it. And at first I thought he
He's
was
a
a
hero.
traitor. Yeah, I
No,
thought
he's
he
a
was a
hero.
traitor at first. But the man did something that let us know we're being filmed and recorded and by our own government.
Government can go right in the back door of Facebook and take anything they want of you. Anything.
Yeah, Snowden, Assange. You know,
Yeah,
these are
Assange.
the people. I can't even think what's the name that's serving a life sentence. The military chick.
Military woman, yeah. I can't think of her
Oh.
name either, son bitch. But you're
Yeah.
right. She's a hero as well.
The one that we traded for was a guy, now a girl.
No.
No, okay.
No.
I can't remember her name.
trying
I
to
don't
find
know
it
who
too.
you're talking about. Someone will say it in the chat.
Yeah, so Trump needs to free these, like, or needs to free Ross for starters. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable, man.
Because it sets a precedent. That the reason why they did that is because they wanted to go after gun manufacturers for gun crimes. So if we can get the person who created a website and get them for the stuff to happen on the
Oh
website.
yeah, that kid. The Silk
Ross,
Road.
yeah.
Yeah, Ross.
Yeah.
The kid created the website and then was hands off, right?
Yeah, for most of it.
It just pretty much allowed people to do transactions with other. It's almost
with
like
other
any
currencies.
Yeah, it's almost any third party like website that like Pinterest, where you can put up what you want to sell and somebody can buy it. He did it with different currencies and stuff. People started using it for drugs, and they put that kid in jail for life. Like, and he was young.
Still is.
Yeah, still is young. You're right. You're right. I don't know. There's just a lot going on in the world, people. There's a lot going on.
Pay attention.
Yep. Like just keep an eye on it because this stuff is happening.
And the loudest ones that are pointing the finger at something and saying that's the problem are the ones causing the problem.
But I hope everybody had a good night. We're going to call it an early one. I think unless you guys have anything you want to talk about, I think we got a bunch of stuff out there tonight. Any topics?
Good.
You guys are good?
Well, I mean, there is that small rabbit hole about how it was just released a few hours ago about how they found out who ordered the assassination of JFK. But I mean, we'd say that for another time if you want.
I was about to say what?
It's in the private chat. No, I'm being serious.
Come on.
Hold on. Yeah.
Well, it's Alex Jones, so it came.
Is it
from
the
somebody who
Biden
might
one?
know something.
Is it? Wait, what did Biden just say?
No.
Historic JFK assassination tape drops. World exclusive. Never before heard audio of former executive director of the DNC and close associate of LBJ, Clifton Carter, admitting that LBJ hired Mac Wallace to assassinate JFK.
We never trust that Matt Wallace guy.
That's in the Aluminum Spork one?
It's in the private chat here.
Oh, shiznit. I am sorry. I did not see that. Let's kick that up a notch. Old people.
That's topic worthy.
Yeah, I think we should maybe take a look at that. I was
an hour and a half long.
I was going to say we should go to Rumble, but I need views on YouTube or I'm going to lose my monetization. So we will we'll stay on YouTube. Let's see. Let me get this. From the great Alex Jones, of course. All right. Let's put this up there and let's
Well, Saul, it's been a pretty touch and go situation. Linda and I have had quite a few unpleasant words here lately over the deal with that he hired Mike Wallace to assassinate the president. It's been hectic in every way, but we've lived through this far, and I guess we'll continue to do so. Lyndon should have never issued that order to Mike. our differences, and I'm a true blue to Lyndon, as I've always been, and tried to carry out every order that he'd ever given me. But this is one I'll probably never be able to forget. And the time that we've had
Definitely every time.
and the embarrassment that Lyndon had gotten from Kennedy, I guess there wasn't anything else to do but what he did.
Well, you know, Lyndon could have really hit me if he would.
Well, Lyndon's the kind of person that doesn't want to help anyone. He's all for Lyndon, and that's the way he's pretty much always been.
Well, they had me backed up on that Henry Marshall killing, and they just kind of blackmailed me to keep my mouth shut. And if I hadn't had a bunch of tapes that I played after he got killed, because, 17 got killed in this situation very mysteriously. And I've done a lot of time, and I've lost a lot of money, and hurt my family a whole lot. And it's really got me just disgusted with Lyndon in one way. In one way, I feel real sorry for him.
Thanks for being on the front lines and fighting this battle and just pushing this out to the American public. We've had this tape for, I'd say, 8-9 years, something along those lines. And
okay, he's probably going to answer that, but you've had it for 8 to 9 years. What?
That's insane.
That's insane, dude. And you know what? The first thing in my head is it's AI. It's something. It can't be real. It can't be real. Because I never felt like we'd ever get the answers. All right, let's see.
I know that Trump is saying that he's going to share the information, but I have this feeling that until Carolyn Kennedy passes, JFK's daughter, I don't think the information is going to come out until then.
He said
I've always
he would.
felt that there's
I know. But you know what? She should know.
No, that's true. Oh, I absolutely agree.
It's like, I understand it must be hard, but like, they killed your dad, the party you've been defending for how long? And
let's be clear about
disowning your
something.
own cousin.
They killed your dad. They killed your uncle. They killed your nephew.
Yep.
They killed your cousins. They killed your brother.
And now you guys are dissing your own cousin because he's no longer part of the Democratic Party and he questions jabs. And the guy has a right to question jabs. I don't know.
Pass it around to some of the leaders.
He was also implicated in another murder case in 1951, which fueled suspicions about his character and potential involvement in other violent acts. So this was not a clean character. He was implicated in several different
Who's that?
homicides.
Wallace. Oh yeah. He did. I mean, from what if I'm thinking of the correct guy, he was he was the dirty hand of the Democratic, Lyndon Johnson's Democratic Party.
This is a Texas political operative. Is what he was, is what he's classified as.
Yep. Yeah, Mike, Carolyn Kennedy. So it was his son, Junior, and Carolyn.
Yeah, and she's the current ambassador to Australia.
Oh, good day, mate. Shrimp on the bobby. All right.
Actually, she left office
It's a
end
prawn.
of November.
So, oh, well.
I don't know
Trump,
who took over after that.
Trump got elected. Don't forget that.
As Alex mentioned a while ago, the biggest implication of this is if they got away with this in the 60s, if they killed a president, covered it up across multiple agencies, then where are those people? How did they do it? They're ultimately still there in some way, shape, or form, in some capacity. And so at this point, all I've done is share this tape with a few people. In fact, a lot of the people that are fighting the hardest for our country have heard this tape. They've listened to it. I've shared the background, the history with them. And so, to my knowledge, President Trump heard it over in West Palm Beach. Donald Trump Jr.'s heard it. Ronna McDaniel, she was supposed to share that with President Trump. I don't know that ever got shared. That was about 8 years ago. And Ken Paxton, Don Buckingham, a lot of the folks that are fighting the good fight, that are out there doing the frontline stuff for the right reasons, they've listened to it. and they know what
This
they're up
this
against.
could also be them
So-
forcing Trump's hand to actually to reveal
Yeah.
it now that nothing
Yeah.
else has been hidden.
And you know what? Not just maybe not forcing his hand. They put this out so he can. You know what I mean? Not forcing his hand. It's like one of those things like release it. You know, so now when I get in office, no
Well,
one
now
can
that
hold
we knew
anything
8 years
against me.
ago,
Yeah. Yeah.
8 years ago, he heard this.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Remember, he said that
He just
he'd
said
known
that.
for a
Oh
while,
my
and he
God,
was advised not to.
Right.
Well, he was. And you know what? Trump brought that up. He's brought that up that he was going to tell the American people about JFK and then was advised that it would be not the right time, too harmful. He said something to that effect. And now we know why. Like he knew, and I bet you those dirt bags in the swamp that he brought in with him were the ones to tell him not to.
Yeah.
And Jonathan puts a good one here too, like Oswald. Like, was he even involved? You know?
I think I'm not sure if I know he fired shots. I know he thought he was part of a conspiracy or a plan to assassinate the president. I just don't believe his shots actually took
No.
out Kennedy.
No.
I think he was there. He was the fall guy. He thought he was doing something for, the benefit of the former Soviet Union, but I don't
So
think he was actually the kill shot.
I did see a video a few years back where like he was used as the not just the fall guy, but his shot was what drew a lot of people's attention to look away from Kennedy. And there's like footage where I don't know if it's true or not, but like the driver of his car turned around and shot him.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I
Yeah.
don't think I've
And
heard
I
that.
also
I did hear that too.
Yeah, there's footage that kind of
But with all the stabilization technology and everything we have
Right.
now, we're getting the clear. Like you saw how that was.
Yes.
There's no way that's a shot from the back of the head.
No, God no. No.
So we definitively know for 100% back now proof that he didn't do it.
Yeah, Jack Ruby definitely. Yep. All right, let's watch just a little bit more.
I mean, this is the former head of the DNC and LBJ's right-hand man on record. That's just look him up. Going, yep, killed a bunch of people.
The government ears Alex Jones, who has the largest audience in the country, bigger than any of the networks.
Get that.
Skip it. You will get claimed for it.
Yeah, I probably just got hit. Okay, right here, I think.
A Baptist church, a serial entrepreneur, father of 4 boys, been married for 23 years-ish, and spend most of my time running the businesses here. Any spare time I have, I go out to the ranch and I guide hunts, entertain guests out there. My grandfather on my mother's side, the Estes side of the family, is Billy Saul Estes, and he was engaged in the highest echelons of the political power battles back in the 60s, late 50s and 60s, tied in close with LBJ, and apparently they were involved in some cotton allotment schemes, and apparently he had some tapes discussing the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Cliff Carter was at one point the head of the DNC, loyal Democrat. He worked with LBJ for a long time. He was one of his bagmen. So him, 2-3 other folks would help to pull in money from the big companies. So like Brown and Root, HB Zachary, Halliburton, all these companies that were kind of set up and ultimately getting contracts from LBJ. And then in turn, they were helping to contribute large amounts of money to LBJ. My granddad died in 2013. And it was a few years after he passed away. So I'm going to guess maybe 2015, 16, somewhere in that time frame. And my Uncle Daryl, he was getting dementia, and he's like, I've got these tapes. And he said that he didn't want to discard them, that he was supposed to know the right time to release them. That time never came. So he passed them on. They ended up coming to me for safekeeping. So this tape was, to the best of my understanding, recorded perhaps 1971 or two, somewhere in that time frame, just based on what they're talking about. Really based on Cliff Carter's timeline of when he passed away. And it's as plain as day, these two talking very openly about who was involved in the assassination of JFK.
So what's crazy is I wonder what his feelings about his grandfather and, his great uncle, like the feelings he must have, like not knowing any of this and then learning after your grandfather's dead in 2013. So this guy's probably my age, maybe a little older, and finding out after your grandfather died at maybe in your 40s that, oh yeah, he killed John F. Kennedy, one of the most beloved presidents of ever. That must be a mind.
I can't believe that.
What's up?
It's interesting. He says how everyone had videos on each other as well, like in tapes of each other. That's the way to keep everyone silent.
Yeah,
because you think like there's so many people, they're gonna do it. They're gonna have something. That means that if everyone's got a tape on it and one person steps out of line, it doesn't. Everyone that has a tape on them now has equal opportunity to get rid of the person. So it ensures silence, or at least a group mentality to stop one. So I mean, they didn't have a lot of technology there, but that's smart warfare.
It's very smart. That's why Nixon recorded everything in the Oval Office, everything. And you know what's
not
funny?
everything. There's that 18-minute. There's that 18-minute window,
right?
When they
right.
made first contact. That didn't go down. So
I still feel, that's right. I still feel like he got screwed. Nixon.
Oh, yeah.
The more I read about it and the more I see about it, Nixon was, trying to make a change and they destroyed him. But
well, I mean, he even said, "I'm not a crook. It's good enough for me."
Well, and if he was right, he was right. Like the guys who broke in to the Democratic Party's head of the Democratic Party,
But
they
how
were
lucky was the
CIA,
guy
man.
that broke that story on his very first day?
Woodworth and whatever. Yeah,
Woodward
he
and
was CIA.
Bernstein.
Yeah, they were part of Operation, not Paperclip, Operation whatever it was, where they got CIA operatives into the media. Like his biggest first news report is one of the biggest scandals in United States history. Like, how does that work out perfectly?
JFK warned about that. It's literally during this video. There's one partner where he warns about the future. Of it all. He basically breaks down exactly what's happening now, especially the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
talks about
maybe that was the reason that they got rid of him.
I mean, he talks about secret societies and stuff. JFK. I mean, like he was part of.
And also, it shows one thing: he was never supposed to win that election.
No.
Right.
No,
yeah.
no.
Daddy bought him the office and he just didn't pay off enough people.
Well, the problem was Dad got him the office and his brother didn't realize that meant certain people got to get away with things. And their father had that massive heart attack or stroke where he wasn't able to really communicate and be himself anymore. So he couldn't force Bobby to not go after the mob, not go after the teens.
You mean the same effect that you get when someone gets caffeine directly, injected into their heart?
Yeah, damn, man.
Weird that.
It's a lot of weird things that happen.
What was even weirder than that was 2 months before that happened, the first caffeine powders were actually introduced.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's terrifying.
Wow.
Yeah, Operation Mockingbird, where they put thousands of CIA not spies, but agents into media, into the newspapers, into TV, into radio. I mean, that's why they're so out to push against social media. They were trying to get their foothold into social media, and then they did, and then Elon Musk.
Well, and that's the thing with it as well, because they were doing it for so many years, it became tradition.
Yeah,
so people that had no connection with it, say Generation Z, are still doing it because that's the way it's always been. That's the proper way to do it. Yeah.
Yep. And when social media blew up, this was the Wild West. They had no control over it because it didn't happen like gradually. It happened suddenly. And you can see through Mark Zuckerberg and the Twitter files that they were trying to get their foot in the door there. They had people working at Twitter, and it wasn't I still believe if it wasn't for Elon Musk, free speech, and maybe the future of this country would be fucked. I'm not saying he did it for all the right reasons, but I'm saying the fact is they were trying to control social media. They were getting a great foothold during the pandemic. And thank God he bought X, seriously. And thank God for Rumble and other ones that stood up and said, we're not gonna follow this. We are here for free speech, because all the others were about to be compromised, like without doubt. Without doubt, they will all be compromised today. It's freaking terrifying, man. Terrifying that. And when you bring this stuff up, people think you're crazy, because even though it's public knowledge, not enough people know about it. We should talk about Mockingbird one day. Make that that's crazy. All right, let's just see a little bit more and then we'll call it a night. What you're about to hear is never before heard audio of former executive director of the DNC and close associate of LBJ, Clifton C. Carter, admitting to LGB.
LG gay.
Well, Saul, it's been a pretty touch and go situation. Linda and I have had.
Oh, we heard this. Okay. All right. We heard this whole part. So it's after the 2-hour mark. Maybe we'll touch on it on
All right, I'll
Saturday.
just play this one thing then.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got?
For we are opposed around the world
No, wait.
by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on
Okay, I can't hear it now for some reason. Can you guys
I
hear
can
it?
hear it. Yeah.
Oh, must be my
Very
headphones.
good.
on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections,
Yep.
on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published.
Hmm.
Mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
That is terrifying. Amen.
No
Knew it then.
expenditure is questioned, especially that one.
Yeah. And then, go one president before, Eisenhower on his speech leaving office, where he warns
The
us,
industrial military complex.
like we are at like this. If I swear, I really believe this. If Trump wasn't elected, we were really in trouble. I'm not saying he's a hero. I'm not saying he's perfect, but there is something about the way things have gone since 2020 that scared the bejesus out of me. And if we got another 4 years, it might have been solidified. We need to protect the freedoms we have. So we, not just here in America, but around the world, where freedom is supposedly given to the people. But here in America, it's most important because no other country has the rights we have to the fullest effect. And they try to attack free speech. They try to attack our Second Amendment. Oh, you don't need assault rifles to hunt. No, the Second Amendment is there to put down tyranny. It's so rise up against a tyrannical freaking government. So don't let them let you believe it's about hunting. It's about
brother.
protecting.
Yeah, brother.
Not forget.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews, buddy. Mixed reviews. But we're gonna call it a night. Anybody have anything they want to plug before we go?
Check out next Low Down Dragon Storm channel next Sunday or Saturday, 6 p.m. Sage 7 and Skywalker, myself, Mortal Coil, and Stark of Iron.
All right, nice. Nice. Sorry, that one too. Great. Great. Anybody else? Vinny Arts?
I got nothing.
No.
Yeah, on Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, we do the Friday Underground stream on Vinny Arts channel, and then on Sunday nights, we are doing episodes 4, 5, and 6 of the second season of Arcane on the Sunday night stream, which starts at 8 o'clock Eastern on Sundays. So if you're into Arcane or just want to, chit chat, come follow me there, because I'm not there. I'm here with this guy. So
Nice. Grant, anything for you?
No, just go check out my AI ruins your favorite TV series stuff. So having another one coming out on the weekend. So
Nice.
cool.
Nice. And let's not forget what Stig says here. Need to show up for the 2028 elections the same way people did in 2024. Complacency kills.
Yes, brother.
I told my husband that this afternoon what Trump needs to pull a play from Reagan's book. If it's not him, because he doesn't have the time, then it needs to be Vance. We need fireside chats. We need 30 every 30 days or minimally every 90 days. We need to get a status of here's everything Trump promised, here's where we are, and here's why we haven't completed what was promised so far, and just call out the people that are blocking it from happening, and just uncover, turn over every stone. Just
Transparency, man. Transparency.
Exactly.
And you know what? Reagan had his flaws, but that's one thing that was great about him. You saw him once a month, at least talking directly to the American people.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you Saturday. Most likely.
see you, bye. Wash your ass.
Welcome to Aluminum Spork,
That's the work, everybody.
where mysteries come to talk. From ancient cities underground to UFOs that float around. Giants of the past, prophetic signs that last, archaeological fights, and strange unexplained lights. Aluminum Spork.
Good night, everybody.